For somebody that's never really read a law of attraction book, I've kind of been exposed to quotes and passages and, mindset, affirmations, like 365 mentality, stuff like that. And what's really funny, I no, like to myself, when I always go through and write, because it's powerful shit, I always go back to my self training and I always go like, if I actually not rewound, but like rewind, the footage in my head, like to when I actually started training to the time I stopped. Like I didn't stop. Like I would have carried on. I was training like a madman, right? But like then some triggered Karen came over to me. Like the amount of times I repeat this narrative is fucking insane. Like, Wolverhampton is a fucking shithole. It's the shittest place to live on earth. And people go, oh, I fucking love living in this fucking shithole. What you fucking going on about? So, I really want to make this video basically to talk about, like, the negative bitches that, like, come against you. But then I also want to talk about the positives that you can learn from being around these bitches. And I think the positive to take away from them is that they are jealous haters. Even when they're your relatives or when they're related to you, or you try and give them helpful advice or tips or whatever it is you're giving them, they don't give a fuck. That's the reality of it, man. Like, you know what I mean? And then and also as well, because I was training in that gym like hard, when I actually hear some people or specific guys, talk about the law of attraction, they go, like, it's some pretty powerful stuff in here, and it's more or less, it all comes from the brain. It all comes from the power of the mind. It all comes from like visualizing things before they actually happen. I actually never visualized myself being the greatest of all time or the highest level possible or, the best artist in the country. I worked for it like since 2017, 2018. Like, when I worked for the six pack, I actually didn't see myself with a six pack. And, I still wanted to keep that level of consistency. And, a lot of my family members were like, this is like a gap. No. It's like, it's not going to be the end of me. But it was like, if I hadn't have gone to Juniper and I hadn't have met Josh, the guy I was walking next to, Juniper, the guy, McCarthy, right? If I hadn't have walked with him, then, who knows what would have happened. But, I know in my mind that, he helped me in a sense, because he helped show me who my real friends were, like, all those years. Like, they were phonies. I think my brother Guns has made videos on them, like, lying, lying to him, and he's exposed them. I've done the same, bro. Like, I've called them pricks. I've called them haters. They're traitors, for whatever reason. And, like, we don't need them. But, like, it's the power of the mind. And a lot of people in this day and age, whether they're connected to you, whether they're friends of you, whether they're, someone that you meet, whether they're trying to take your bitch, or they're trying to take your chick, or they're trying to take, your seat at the table, whatever it may be, right? Just know that that's blatant disrespect. I don't walk over to people and I don't go, you ain't got that game, you ain't got that console, you ain't got those shoes, you ain't got those crepes, you ain't got those clothes. Because I don't need to. Yeah. No. I don't need to, because I'm not a piece of shit. And I think the reason these people are is because they don't move like it's leaping season. They don't move like, oh, I might not have time tomorrow. They go like they've got forever in a day. And this is the equivalent of, like, when you look at these people that set up these channels or set up these social media platforms, they don't even know what to do on these social media platforms. So then they sit there and they go, what's working? What's trending? And I'm making a point by saying this, yeah? For somebody like Lucas, instant respect. Trevor Hannett, instant respect. Tyrese, instant respect. McCarthy from Juniper, Josh, instant respect. It's It's not about knowing them once or walking next to them or potentially knowing them, or, you know, I used to know them. It's the fact that, like, they touched me, bro, you know, in my soul. Like, I'm on a spiritual journey. I'm here for peace. I'm here for respect. I'm here to do my thing. You know, a lot of people nowadays will go, you know, back in the day, you know, you used to sit in a classroom and people used to tell you what to do, and then they used to worry you about college, and, you know, they used to say, you know, you've got to get a degree, but, you know, for what job? And now it's changed because so many influencers are starting to, you know, distance themselves from that poisonous crap. Why? Because it's a joke. It's a lie, right? I want you to go to school. I want you to go to college. I want you to get an education. I want you to go to university. But to waste all that time for education instead and not putting your talent to good use, that's what a lot of these kids, these youngers, did, right? I'm not talking about the, you know, the gal them I used to conversate with, or, you know, that they leaned on McCarthy from Juniper, they leaned on Josh, or, you know, that they like Tyrese. I'm not trying to say that at all. What I'm trying to say is it comes in many forms, right? Like this facility, that facility, whether you're looking at school or you're looking at college, right? Gotta say it like this because I'm not trying to sound like anyone. I'm trying to sound like myself right now. It's actually true. It's the power of the mind. If you actually took time out of your day to read and actually read self-help books, but not like generic self-help books. How can I improve myself? How can I improve my life? You know, what can I do to change it? I've cut crap out of my body, and I kind of scratch myself, and I feel aggravated and attacked. Why? Because things haven't changed. And what I've noticed all these years is I would have noticed improvements. I mean, I can tell you now, if I'm around better people, results. If I'm training in a gym, results. If I'm getting my education, results. But being paid. I'm not going to get education for free. I'm not going to go to a gym for free. I'm not going to, you know, all these things like obviously, yeah, you got to pay the gym. You know what I mean? No. But like, people go to the gym and people go, I go to the gym now, but you're not even training, you're not even putting your all in. When you go to these places, you should see them as a lucrative business, or, you know, something that you can make money from, right? It's a business, right? Everything you do in life should be treated as a business, right? I'm Dyno. So my business is the laboratory. I cook mad bangers in the lab. The reason I haven't returned is because I've got to sort this fucking shit out, right? But until I actually make these things happen, I'm not going to touch this shit. I'm not going to go back to freestyles. I'm not going to make any more. Why? Because I'm rapping and talking about things, or listening to socks, or putting these streamers on, or watching these influencers, but things ain't coming into fruition. What's the fucking point? What's the purpose? And that's what I'm trying to make this video. When you cut out the crap, the shit that plagues you, know that you were lied to, poisoned. You were done dirty by these people. These people that you respected. These people you walked over. These people that you were trying to sit next to, conversate with. Oh, yo, G, is this seat taken? Can I sit next to you? You know, it's funny, you see, because, you know, I could do it with both genders. I could do it with boys and girls. I could go, yo, can I sit there? Is that seat taken? I'm just making an example, right? I'm not overreaching. I'm just making an example. It's so on the nose, but we live in such a generation of people are just shook. They're just scared. They're just afraid. And I look over at them and I go, what you got to be afraid of? What you got to be scared to? You know, I'm afraid of change. I'm afraid to go forward because, you know, people might not like me. Fuck them people. I've said this in the hard times freestyle. Fuck them bitches. Fuck them wannabes. They ain't on the same level as me. Why? Because they're trying to be, right? That's what I see with these cunts. That's why I violate them and I ride on them, right? I violate them. I've never respected them a day in my life. And what did Dyno say in 2017? You can't change them. They'll always be the same. This lying bitch, Karen, whatever her name is, that was siding with another Karen going by the name Cads, right? found my stories, my videos, everything that I stood for when I was actually trying to figure this shit out. Everything was humorous. Everything was a joke. Yeah, I got you excluded. I got you removed. I got you banned. I got you, exiled, blocked from training. Like all that bullshit, But I say this because these bitches, they just work for minimum wage. They're bitches. I'm the kind of guy that would be successful, that would be a billionaire. And people go, what would you do? And I go, well, I'm just ticking off boxes. I'm going onwards and upwards. Why? Because I'm the only one in the scene that can see it through to the end.